Good afternoon and welcome to TV Sapienta News. At 1, I am Oluchi Ojobamidele. The Anambra State government, through the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board and the State Information and Communication Technology ICT Agency, has initiated a crackdown on unauthorized internet service providers (ISPs) operating across the state. In a statement jointly signed by the Executive Chairman of the Fiscal Planning Board, Barrister Chike Maduekwe, and Fred Abata, Managing Director CEO of the ICT agency, the government revealed that the decision follows multiple reports of illegal road and sidewalk excavation, as well as the unauthorized installation of poles that are causing environmental degradation. According to the statement, investigations reveal that numerous service providers have been operating without submitting deployment plans or obtaining necessary approvals, posing significant risk, including data breaches, compromised service quality, and damage to public infrastructure. It said the government's crackdown aims to sanitize Anambra's digital environment by ensuring only properly registered and certified ISPs operate within the state, adding that the initiative aligns with the broader vision of Governor Charles Soludo's government to promote responsible technology use for the collective benefit of residents. They urge residents to report any suspicious or unlicensed ISP activities via the dedicated hotline 0201 41 43039. President Bola Tinubu, during his visit to the Dangote Refinery in Lagos State, describes the project as a massive investment and point of reference. Tinubu said in a statement released by the State House that the Dangote Refinery is a great phenomenon of our time and a massive investment. During the visit, Tinubu also commissioned the access road to the Lekki Deep Sea Port and commended Dangote Industries Limited and the contractor for the quality work. The president of the Dangote Group, replying, Aliko Dangote, thanked Tinubu for envisioning and implementing the Lekki Deep Sea Port project and assured him of the private sector's support for expanding infrastructure nationwide. The federal government has intensified discussions with the Japan International Cooperation Agency to fast-track the implementation of a $110 million emergency loan to improve food security across the country. This was made known in a statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Finance and Coordinating Ministry of the Economy after a high-level meeting involving the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Okiare, and senior officials from Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. The ministry in the statement said the $110 million facility is designed to support Nigerians' food production systems and build resilience amid persistent global supply challenges and domestic inflationary pressures. The minister stressed the agency of executing key components of the program to ensure timely support for farmers and rural communities as the rainy season is already underway. Both ministers emphasized the importance of swift, coordinated action to maximize impact for farmers and rural communities. Responding, the JICA reaffirmed its commitment to the program, but requested formal clarification on proposed implementation changes. The European Union (EU) has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting local dairy farmers by addressing key challenges that affect both the quality and quantity of milk production. The challenges include water shortage, affordability of vaccines and medicines, and access to quality feed for cows. Acknowledging the broader issues facing the dairy sector, the EU emphasized its plan to assist farmers in enhancing their storage capacity and improving critical production inputs such as feed and water. In a statement by the EU yesterday, said a recent visit of an EU team to the Kaduna-based Natural Dairy, a member of Eurocam Nigerian, contributing to the growth of Nigeria's dairy sector, was an opportunity to witness firsthand the successes and challenges of dairy farming and processing in Nigeria. The team leader of the Green and Digital Economy at the EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Inga Stefan Weiss, said this visit was in the context of the rolling out of the new EU support to agriculture in Nigeria. targeting the dairy sector amongst others, with focus on incomes, jobs, and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise growth. Speaking to the plant employees and farmers, Inga noted that increasing milk supply to processors like Natural Dairy would not only boost production but also expand local access to dairy products, promote business growth, and create new income streams for rural communities. The sales manager at Natural Dairy, Christian Idakwoji, highlighted that when Natural Dairy had established roadside cooling points and began training farmers in proper milk handling, further support was needed in training for aggregators, logistics to reduce spoilage and enhance efficiency. The federal government has destroyed a total of 3,867 illicit firearms, which were either seized by security agencies or voluntarily surrendered. The development is in a renewed effort to reduce the rate of violence, crimes, and terrorism across the country. The arms destruction exercise, which took place at the Muhammad Buhari Cantonment in Giri, Abuja, was conducted by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, marking the first of such operation since the center's establishment in 2021. Speaking at the event, the Director General of the Center, a retired Deputy Inspector General of Police, Johnson Kokumo, said the over 3,000 firearms destroyed consisted of various types and calibers, including those captured during operations, recovered from criminals, or surrendered under Arms Control Initiative. He said that some illicit weapons, such as those intercepted at One Port and the narco shed at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, are undergoing investigation and legal processes and will be destroyed in future exercises. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, said controlling the proliferation of small arms and light weapons was central to the federal government's counter-terrorism and national security strategy. Represented by Special Advisor on Governance and Subnational Liaison, Asishana Okauru, the NSA said the availability of illicit weapons contributed to fuel violent conflict, terrorism, banditry, and other forms of criminality across Nigeria and beyond. He called on all to reclaim all our communities and restore peace and development across the country. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Jennifer Adije, says the recent electricity tariff adjustment, especially the cost-reflective tariff introduced for Band A customers, helped save generation companies, GENCOs, from financial collapse. Adigije, who said this during an interview on Channel Television's Politics Today program, commended the Honorable Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, for the boldness and the courage to effect this policy that has saved the GENCOs from collapse. She explained that before the Band A tariff reform, only 10% of GENCO invoices presented to the bulk trader were settled, adding that with the implementation of the Band A structure, which covers just 15% of the market, liquidity in the sector increased by 70%, rising from 1 trillion to 1.7 trillion naira. When asked what could happen to Nigeria if Nigeria achieves stable 24/7 power supply, the NDPHC Managing Director said Nigerians must either pay optimally for uninterrupted electricity or the government must apply smarter, more effective subsidies. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Christopher Musa, has stressed that banditry and terrorism cannot thrive without the support of locals. Speaking at the official launch of the Presidential Community Engagement Peace Initiative and North Central Peace Summit in Jos Plateau State, organized by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement, General Musa stressed the crucial role of community involvement in combating insecurity. According to him, bandits relied heavily on local support to operate effectively, noting that it is critical for Nigeria to take ownership of the armed forces. He, however, urged community members to provide timely and accurate information to security agencies to help track down bandits and other criminals. On his part, Plateau State Governor Caleb Mufwang, represented by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Ephraim Usman, stressed the need to empower communities to take the lead in conflict resolution and peace building. Welcome back to the news. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to be patient with his administration's reforms, assuring that the toughest days are behind us. The president, who gave the assurance in his message to mark the 2025 Eid al-Kabir celebration on Thursday, said that though the journey had not been easy, his economic reforms had already started, yielding positive results. According to him, the ultimate objective of these reforms is not just to improve statistics, but to transform lives and set Nigerian family on the path of sustainable development, assuring that there are no quick fixes, but his government is committed to preparing the foundations of our economy once and for all. President Tinubu also urged Nigerians to continue to pray for the armed forces and security personnel who are risking their lives daily to keep the country safe. On the significance of Eid al-Kabir, Tinubu called on Muslims and Nigerians to embrace the values of sacrifice, selflessness, and compassion, which the festival symbolizes, highlighting the examples of Prophet Ibrahim's devotion as a model for national renewal, unity, and perseverance. Justice Daniel Osiago of the Federal High Court in Lagos State has convicted and sentenced 9 Chinese nationals, 2 of whom are women, to 1 year imprisonment each for economic sabotage and financial terrorism. In addition to their prison terms, the court ordered each of them to pay a fine of 1 million naira. Their conviction follows a crackdown by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on December 10, 2024, when its operatives raided a building on the 6th floor of a property in the Oyin-Jolayemi area of Lagos State, where over 700 individuals were arrested for alleged involvement in cyber terrorism and economic sabotage. They were accused of recruiting Nigerian youths to commit identity theft and pose as foreign nationals for financial gain. At the resumed hearing of their trial on Thursday, the EFCC counsel Nemeka Omewa informed the court that the 9 convicts had entered into a plea bargain agreement with the commission, which the EFCC found acceptable. The defense counsel Folarin Damela confirmed the plea deal and urged the court to adopt it. However, the amended charge was read in court and all 9 convicts pleaded guilty. Justice Osiago ruled that the prison term will run from December 10, 2024, the date of the arrest, and ordered that all items recovered from the convicts, included furniture, computers, and laptops, be forfeited to the federal government. The court also directed the Nigerian Immigration Service to repatriate the convicts to China upon completion of their sentences. Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo have banned media outlets from covering the activities of former President Joseph Kabila or interviewing members of his political party amid rising tension between Kabila and the government of President Felix Tshisekedi. The directive announced by the country's media regulator, the Supreme Council of Audiovisual and Communication, follows Kabila's return to DR Congo last month after a 2-year absence. He has since made high-profile appearances, including in the eastern city of Goma, which is currently under the control of M23 rebels. The council chief, Christian Bosembe, warned that violations of the ban could result in suspension of media operations. Meanwhile, Kabila's party, the People's Party for Reconstruction and Democracy, rejected the media ban. Also, the M23 rebels weighed in, saying outlets in areas under their control will not adhere to the ban. President Donald Trump and Elon Musk have publicly clashed on Thursday, shattering their once close relationship. Trump threatened to cancel federal contracts with Musk's company, while Musk called for Trump's impeachment on X. The clash started after Trump criticized Musk in the Oval Office for opposing a sweeping tax and spending bill. Hours later, Trump posted on Truth Social that eliminating Musk government contracts will save billions in the federal budget. Wall Street reacted swiftly as Tesla's shares plunked to 14.3%, erasing roughly $150 billion in market value, the highest single-day drop in Tesla's history. In response, Musk agreed with a post calling for Trump's impeachment. Though Republicans currently control Congress, making impeachment impossible, the public fallout marked a major rupture in what had been a powerful alliance between the two. Musk warned that Trump's tariffs could trigger a recession and even announced plans to decommission SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, the only U.S. craft capable of sending astronauts to the International Space Station, as retaliation for Trump's threats. However, he later reversed that decision following the calls for de-escalation. In the world of sports, Spain starlets Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams dazzles as La Roja beat France 5-4 in a thriller in Stuttgart yesterday to set up a Nations League final with Portugal. Yamal backed a brace while Williams scored and provided an assist as the two wingers caught France's makeshift defense. Mikel Merino and Pedri were also on the score sheet for the Euro 2024 champions. Kylian Mbappe netted a second-half penalty, but Spain were 5-1 up and cruising before Les Bleus suddenly woke up as their opponent took their foot off the pedal. The Belle fresh from Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League triumph created an early chance for Mbappe, but the Real Madrid superstar wasted it, electing to pass rather than shoot when one-on-one with the keeper. Yamal, praising their score, says Spain deserved to win the game. And to end the news, here are the major news headlines for today. President Bola Tinubu, during his visit to the Dangote Refinery in Lagos State, describes the project as a massive investment and point of reference. Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo have banned media outlets from covering the activities of former President Joseph Kabila or interviewing members of his political party amid rising tensions between Kabila and the government of President Felix Tshisekedi. And Spain starlets Lamine Yamal and Williams dazzles as Roja beat France 5-4 in a thriller in Stuttgart yesterday to set up Nations League final with Portugal. And that was the TV Sapientia News at 1. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I'm Oluchi Ojo Bamdele. Thank you for being here with us on TV Sapientia.